Gents, I just want to pause the episode for a moment to let you know about the Strong Men of Value Academy. You will have heard me refer to it a number of times, and I want to bring more attention to it. So this isn't just a program, it's a life-changing environment and community of men who are focused on personal and professional growth. We're looking at areas of relationships, wealth, and health, things to help you thrive and maximize your life. Imagine having bi-monthly one-on-one coaching sessions with myself, weekly group coaching calls, and an incredible brotherhood of high achievers by your side. Now we're diving into resilience, leadership, and holistic growth to not just succeed in your career, but to thrive in your health and your relationships. Your journey to greatness, it starts here. So join the movement and you can apply for the Strong Men of Value Academy. You can head to themanthatcanproject.com to find out more.
The Man That Can Project podcast, a podcast empowering career-driven men to live more fulfilling lives. We are here to challenge your beliefs, redefine success, and talk about the important stuff in a relatable way. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. My name's Lachlan Stuart. Let's get into it.
How is your relationship with yourself? It is a question that we discussed in the Strong Men of Value Academy last week, and there was a very interesting uptake. I personally hadn't done this exercise or spent the time to really think about it for a number of years, and I share with the gents what I'm going to share with you guys today because I feel there's a lot of lessons that you guys can take away from it, but it also helps you understand where I'm at, I guess, in my life. And one of my most important things that I've always wanted, and the reason why I originally created the Man That Can Project, was to have access to men from all walks of life who were prepared to tell me what it took to be successful. They could share the highs and also the lows, the negative or limiting beliefs that they experienced, the hardships that they experienced while looking to create a certain level of success in their life. And I think for a lot of us, the relationship that we have with ourselves shapes our daily experiences profoundly, right? And even up until Friday, okay, so last week I met with a mastermind that I'm a part of, and a lot of the guys in the mastermind run either men's groups or online businesses. And we spend 2 hours every fortnight together where we get together and just share what's gone well for us in our life and also in business and what we're currently challenged with. And one of the things that's come up numerous times just in a different way has been just the fact that I over commit to things and I overcomplicate things. And last week it came through the form of, I'm constantly busy. Okay, I work 7 days a week, and it obviously, you can argue the flip side. When you love what you do, it's not work, and I understand that. But I also know deep down that I want to live my life. So when I was discussing this with the gents, it brought up, I guess, self-worth challenges which came into play. And one of the things I could relate it back to is this relationship with self worksheet that I'm definitely going to talk you guys through it so that you can go through this yourself, just like a lot of our academy members did, because I believe it's truly something that will have a profound impact on you and, your life moving forward. But as a result of doing this for myself, it highlighted a few key things which helped me come to a decision, which I'm going to share with you right now, was that moving forward for the foreseeable future, the Breakthrough Online experience has gone. For those who've been on the website, you'll notice it's gone. The only, I guess, service that I am offering now is the Strong Men of Value Academy. I wanted to create simplicity in my own life, but also for everyone who's a part of the Man That Can Project, not wondering which is going to be the best fit. There is only one fit now. The only options you have is to join or apply for the Academy intake, which comes open soon. Or if you have the privilege of being in Brisbane with myself, you're welcome to join the Strong Men of Value and face-to-face training at any time. So we're going to be opening up more spaces, and you can head over to Instagram or website and you can apply to do that. We have a goal, or I have a goal, to have 36 men joining us in the gym. So as a part of Function Well, which I'm excited. So if you're currently there, you have mates that you think will get value from it, hit me up, because I'd love to talk, and we'd love to continue growing that. But that's it. That's simplifying it, because I know that if I only have one thing to focus on, I can stack it with immense amount of values. But by simplifying my life, I'm going to be able to give more to you guys, which is, once again, I want to be able to facilitate the space where the conversations that I once wanted are happening for you guys, because it's reciprocal, right? What goes around comes around, and it's value. So let's dive into it, right? Let's stop talking about what I was experiencing, what I went through, until I share my experience again. But if we do not accept ourselves for, I guess, who we are, and we feel we can only be enough if we reach certain standards, we are bound to live a life of suffering. Okay, and let me just get my notes open here from the workbook. But a lot of men, and you may be listening to this right now, and you may definitely be able to relate to this, are feeling, or have a deep feeling of not being enough, right? It can create all kinds of challenges throughout your life, and sometimes you may not even be aware of it because your life is moving so fast, right? Until I read this exercise, I was not aware, because that was me. I was moving so fast that I thought, hey, my relationships are amazing, my health's amazing, my finances are amazing, my business is amazing, life's good. But I wasn't addressing why I wouldn't or couldn't or struggled to slow down and just be present in other areas of my life. So I guess when it boiled down to it, is I'd set standards for myself around what had to happen in order for me to be worthy, right? And I had built up an idea around how I needed, or what kind of person I needed to be, and what kind of person or how I needed to act in order to be worthy, right? And some of those were from a frame of reference from determining my financial status, my appearance, my intellect, and all those various things. And a lot of the time I wasn't meeting that. And so subconsciously I've been pushing harder and harder and harder to, I guess, achieve that level of self-worth, right? There's almost like a pressure to succeed. I don't know whether you feel that or you experience that, but it's a fucking heavy weight to hold. Like it really is. And I can tell you firsthand, by doing more and avoiding time to slow down is not going to fix that problem. It's going to be there. So we really need to think about, or you need to think about, is what is it that you're truly after, right? For me, whether it's inner peace or calm or whatever you want, or contentment, it's, that awakening and level of awareness that we need to get to one, understand that we all have flaws where, I don't feel I'm ever going to nail this. It's going to be something that I'm going to be having to, I guess, go with the flow with, ride the wave essentially, to navigate the highs and lows of that, because that's what I believe life and our emotions really follow through with. So, we need to learn how to give that love to ourselves. So I want to share these standards that I became aware of, and it really was a bit of a kick in the guts, because as I mentioned, I was running so fast, I was completely not aware of it. But when I was speaking this out loud, and even when I shared it with the gents last week, it sounded silly, right? And even now, as I'm about to say this on the podcast, it's going to sound silly for me to say again, but this is truly what was there. So the exercise was this: write down 3 standards you've set to feel like you're good enough, right? You're being good enough. The first one for me was this: the need for validation from social media platforms and the podcast, right? So when what that looks like for me is how many likes a post gets, how many shares a post gets, how many downloads a podcast gets, my reviews, my ratings, all of that sort of stuff. And that's out of my control. I know that when I say that out loud, logically, that's out of my control. But something I've really struggled with for a lot of my life is the need to feel significant, the need to be recognized. But then it also is like a shadow of myself, because I also at the same time don't like being recognized, like being the front of, even at my own workshops, I'll stand to the side of photos and stuff because I don't want to be the center of attention. So it's a really interesting dance that I have with myself and what I want and what I guess versus what I think I want. So once I identified that first thing, the next question I had to ask myself, and I'd write this down so you guys can go through this process as well, is when I'm unable to live up to the standard I feel. Right? So when I am unable to live up to the standards I've set for how my engagement is and all of that with social medias, etc., I feel like the content that I put out is not having an impact. I then don't feel as good as other coaches out there. So that was just a brief summary. Right? So you can see how just by having that metric, which is all related on things that are external and out of my control, example being the social media platforms, I'm continuing to set myself up for failure because I can't control how many of you guys rate or review the podcast. I can't control how many likes, shares, and all of that sort of stuff happens. All I can control is what I put out, right? And so I need to shift focus and go, hey, that is the best I could do today. And that's some work that I have to go on, but I hope by me sharing that, and if you take the time to go through this, you're going to be able to understand what that looks like for you in your own way. There was another question that went with that. So this was the second question. So write this one down. The sacrifices I make to be able to live up to these standards are. So what are the things you sacrifice in order to really try and uphold these standards? So for me, was this. I invest so much time reading, recording and creating content. The sacrifice I make for putting out the content costs me doing other important things in my life. So for looking after myself, having fun, being with my wife, exploration, adventure. But it also costs me money because I pay someone to do the podcast, and I have people doing content and stuff like that for me. So there's not only a time, I guess, opportunity cost, but one that I'm also happy to do because I do believe there is value going out from this. But then I got to ask myself, well, what do I really want from my life? And is this taking up time from that? And that's something to think about, right? And I kind of, if you have a very similar, if you're in a similar position, you got to ask yourself the same questions, and you're the only person who can come up with that response. Okay, so I'm not going to go into detail about my other two, but I'll share what they were. So the second one was how well my business is seen to be doing. So not even doing, more so seen, because once again, it boils down to that recognition and significance piece that I've been battling with for a while. The third one was how much money I earn, right? It's crazy. I was literally blown away when I was going through this. I was like, my relationship, I feel worthy in all areas of my relationship. With my health, I feel extremely worthy because I practice it every single day, right? I train every single day, stretch, do all that sort of stuff. So I'm confident in my ability there, right? I have standards that are very achievable for myself and I continue to meet. So I feel good enough there. Relationship, same thing. I have standards and I work on it every day. But I feel like the reason why I guess I struggle with this recognition and also, I guess, significant piece is because, like I was saying before, I got this shadow self where I don't like to acknowledge myself and I don't want to be the center of attention, but deep down, that's what I feel I need. So something that I'm going to try for the next couple of months moving forward is validating myself and recognizing myself. It may sound weird, but obviously, as I've highlighted, one thing that I think that I absolutely need, I think we all need it to some degree, is that sense of belonging, that sense of significance. And finding it in a healthy way is probably another thing. So I would say unhealthy way is trying to receive it from social media and podcasting and all of those sorts of things. It's more so going back to obviously making the people in my life who are closest to me aware of that so that they can, I guess, give me some moral support and some boosters just to pick me up. But also for myself, it's like, all right, well, part of my morning routine, I practice my gratitudes, but how often do I recognize myself? Do I go back to these affirmative affirmations to really start building myself up and recognizing things that I'm doing well? That may work, but it also may not. But it's something that I'm committed to trying in order to better myself. So I wanted to share that with you guys for two reasons, right? The reasons for those who will find that all I'll be talking about for the foreseeable future is the Strong Man of Value program. I wanted to simplify my own life. I wanted to add more value, and I wanted to simplify it for you guys, right? If you want to build muscle momentum, meaning and mateship, and take your life to that next level, you've got to come to the Strong Man of Value Academy, right? Simple as that. Super simple. But think about what those standards for being good enough are for you, and ask yourself, are they having a positive or are they having a negative impact on your life and you as an individual? And you're the only one who can answer that. So thank you for tuning in and listening to that. That's a bit of real talk for this week, because like I said, when I was reading over that, I was just answering those questions, and every time I started writing, I was like, fuck, like I've really neglected this stuff. And I know it's unhealthy to live like that, because a lot of the guys that I work with are living exactly like that. So now, as I talk to my clients, I'm going to be giving them a dose of what I need to hear as well, because I personally believe that in order to get the most out of your life, you need to be focusing on what's important, right? And validation from social media platforms and shit like that, and continuing to try and, I guess, be validated through business success and status is bullshit. It really fucking is. It's not what's important. You're not going to be laying on your deathbed going, geez, I'm glad I did those extra phone calls back in 2022. No fucking chance is that going to be happening. You're going to be excited about the things that you're doing. Like myself and the crew are doing a 12-hour walk next Friday night, which is going to be awesome. I think we've mapped it out to be about 55 kilometers. So stay tuned for that. But thank you guys. Remember, if you're living in Brisbane or you have mates that live in Brisbane, you want them to get involved in the Strong Man of Value Academy, send them to Instagram, tell them to click on the link and apply. For those who are online, it's the exact same program. The only thing is you don't get the group fitness training, which is obviously we're building strong minds and strong bodies. You can apply for the April intake. Thank you guys for tuning in. And remember, we're here to help you build a man that can mindset to take your life to that next level.
Thank you for listening to the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lachlan Stuart, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you did, please take a moment to rate and review the Man That Can Project on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our newest episodes. We'll see you again next time.